how do we best provide security while respecting the privacy of everybody?
Right.
But the bottom line is we know everybody wants to get home safely, so how can we work in partnership with the traveling public to accomplish that?
Right, and you just mentioned Al-Qaeda, and most people admit that the biggest terroristic threat to the United States are Muslim extremists. So many people have said, let's just call it what it is and profile. When you are in these high-level meetings and you're trying to decide exactly what to put the American public through, does the word profiling come up?
Well, so what we use, Gretchen, are all types of layers of security. So we have multiple layers informed by intelligence from overseas, perhaps like with the Saudis on the cargo plot, with the information that is collected by those agencies in the intelligence community, law enforcement community, the FBI, where I worked for almost 27 years. All those try to help inform our judgments and actions at the airport. What it comes down to is how can we best use that intelligence to provide the best possible screening.
Johnny, as you know, we've been talking to these El Al experts for the longest time, and their security is something to look up to and aspire to. They say it's possible to start doing background checks before they get there and to be able to interact with passengers before they board. Have you looked into that extensively and see if it's possible in this country with 450 airports?
Well, right, and we do a fair amount of that in terms of these layers of security. So, for example, that's what our no-fly and selectee lists are for. We use intelligence to say this person is a threat to aviation. They either will not be allowed to board an aircraft at all, or they will receive secondary screening, enhanced screening more than anybody else would. Absent that information, then we have behavior detection officers who do, similar to the Israeli model, to engage passengers, perhaps do explosive trace residue swabs off their hands. Just try to see, are there people who need additional levels of security.
And John, yesterday, I know a couple of websites are commenting about what you said. Earlier in the day, you said that the procedures are not going to change. Then later you said that screening procedures will be adapted as conditions warrant. Were you changing your tune a little bit?
Well, I think it's a recognition that we are always evolving our techniques and our technology, always trying to develop the latest techniques and technology.
So are you backing off a little bit?
Intelligence. Well, what I agreed to do is to look at how we can do this type of screening. If we can do it less invasively, has been the request, then I'm open to doing that. What I'd like to do is work with the GAO and the Inspector General to say, these are the ones who have done the covert testing, and gotten through our defenses over the years. Are there less intrusive means that still provide that high level of confidence in terms of the screening?
We're less than 48 hours away now from the busiest travel day of the year, and many organizations are calling for these protests now on Wednesday for people to just do the pat-down and not go through the body scanners and many other things. What are you going to do about Wednesday?
Well, so of course we're fully staffed, prepared for Tuesday is actually the biggest day now, and then Wednesday, and of course next Sunday being a very heavy travel day returning. So people have the option in those 70 airports where we have the advanced image technology to opt out to do a pat-down. My concern really goes to the vast majority of the traveling public who simply want to get home to enjoy the holidays with family and loved ones. And if they miss a flight because people are protesting, then I feel bad for them.
All right, John Pistol, you have a tough job. Thanks for joining us and taking some fire.
Thanks, folks.
All right. Meanwhile, let me tell you what else is happening around the world. A scary scene at last night's Lakers game.